Incoming transmission.
Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It is the 17th of September, and I'm looking at Soccer Kid. And this is the CD32 version for the Amiga. Yes, developed by Chrysalis and released in 1993. Now, you probably remember that Arabian Nights was the last game I looked at, and this is by the same people, and I think it actually looks quite similar. But we're going to look at this intro first. It's a lot of text here, by the way. Ooh, that's quite cool. I like the little animations on the Amiga, they were fun. And really quite cool as well. It's not normally like me to talk over an intro, but at the same time, there's not really much to be quiet about. The World Cup is going to be stolen. That's just, ooh, bad guys. Pirate, pirate, pirate. There we go. Disaster. As the cup travels into space, it strikes a passing asteroid, smashing the cup into 5 pieces, each piece falling back to Earth, scattered across the globe. It's kind of like the opening speech to Banana Man, almost. Many miles away, Soccer Kid is at home watching this on TV. The alien is stealing the World Cup. Sparing not a thought for his safety, he will find and return the trophy to the USA in time for the World Cup final. Well, he's ready for action. Right, so that's the intro. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, so that's basically the idea of the game, is that you need to go and find the bits of the World Cup and restore it to the USA for some reason. But there we are. So we're going to set English language. You can see that's the CD version of the game. So rather nice intro screen there. Let's have a look at the options here. Kit design, that's quite interesting. We should be able to change our kit colours and stuff. Yes, here we go. Up and down to change. And left and right to change the shorts colours. I quite like black and yellow, that's quite cool. So let's get into it. Now you probably didn't realise that Chrysalis were responsible for the Manchester United Europe games, and they were quite successful. I think I might have actually covered Manchester United in Europe on the channel already. I'm not a massive fan of football games, to be honest, but this one is not necessarily a football game. It's... oh, there's a thingy there. My football's gone. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever played this. Oh, okay, so let's go with controls then, shall we? So at the moment I've got... oh, I've got left and right. Up is jump, hooray. It looks like you've got to collect those shiny things. I'm guessing they're like football cards or something. And I think it'll probably fill up those slots at the bottom of the screen that you can see there. The UI is fairly simple. But we'll go with control. So yes, up is to jump, down is to duck, left and right. And then fire button will deal with your attacks with the football, I think. So we'll give this a try because I've not played this before. So that's just a straightforward sort of... oh cool, okay. So you can hold the fire button down and you'll start sort of getting a keepy uppy type thing going on with your ball. And then you can execute various different things with it, I think. But we'll just have a look as we go along. And if I do it, oh, that was good. I've lost a life. This is just a dry run, by the way. I've never played this before, so this is my test bit. I don't like editing them out because at the end of the day, you guys need to see from my perspective. And if I just show you when I succeed, it's not really being an honest opinion of the game, is it? So to give you guys an idea, I don't edit out the awfulness of my playthroughs because you know, warts and all, I'm not a pro player. I just enjoy the retro gaming scene, and it's very much what I grew up with. So, and it's great because some of the games I'm actually doing first time along with the rest of you, which is quite nice. The Amiga was quite a good system. The CD32 was not a great system. It was basically just a keyboardless Amiga 1200. The one thing going for it were the CD quality soundtracks, which I've disabled for this. I mean, it's a pretty game. Let's go for graphics next. It's very cartoony, and you can see they've used the same engine for the Arabian Nights, which is quite nice because that it works. And the other nice thing, right in his head, the other thing that's nice about this is they actually took some time to do a proper football physics engine for just the ball, which is great. Originally released on the Amiga, and then it was, I think it was on the 3DO. I believe there's a Super Nintendo version, a Game Boy version, and a couple of others as well, which is nice. But it started life on the good old Amiga, which is great. Did anyone actually have a 3DO, by the way? I don't think I've ever seen a 3DO. There we go. So yeah, graphically, look at it. It's really nice. There's some nice scrolling in the background there with the pub in the background. That would be drinking establishment or whatever you guys in the US call it, or you might just call it a pub. Hey, weirder things have happened, right? So the animations are very smooth as well. The ball animation, the actual sort of trick of the ball when you've got it attached to your foot, is really quite nice. A bit maybe too easy to lose it though. I found if you sort of hold the fire button down, it does respawn, but it doesn't respawn instantly. I'll just keep booting it against that tree. Great stuff. Now you get different points and stuff for collecting the food. That doesn't really, I don't think it really does anything as far as giving you any advantages go. Oh, treasure chest, that was nice. Gave me a nice health buff. So there we are. Now the only thing I'm going to say this now is that it's a little bit. The flow of the game gets a little bit broken by having to sort of stop and get your tricks shots set up and all that stuff. Rats. It does, but I suppose if you really wanted to, you could just boot the ball along the floor. But I think that the whole point of the game, realistically, is that you learn how to do all the tricks. But again, that's going to take time, and you're going to have to try and master that, which again is going to just break the flow a little bit. But that's a minor criticism. The sound I quite like as well. Let's have another go. So we just carry on whittering on about this. Let's see if I can do any better on this run. So, yeah, so graphically it's nice. Bottom left-hand corner, that's how many, that's your health there. You get hit too many times and that's going to disappear. Your lives on the far right-hand corner. Your score, and those panels are for collecting the football cards, which there's one right there. Let's go and grab that, and you can see that now materialises in the panels below, which is quite nice. Enemies take a number of hits. Some of them are one shot, some are two. Haven't encountered anything that takes more than two yet, but it's a really quite nice game. Sound wise, it's quite nice. So you get the boot of the ball, and also if the ball hits spikes, you does get a puncture noise, which is quite nice as well. So there's an attention to detail with the sound, and it's an enjoyable game. I think it would actually pose quite a challenge as well, because it's not what I would call particularly easy. I mean, it looks very straightforward, but I think there's more to it than that. It's more of a complex game, which is nice. Mastering that trick shot's going to be what's going to keep people interested, I think, because I think you can do overhead shots and all sorts of bits and pieces. I think the frustrating part for me is the ball disappears and it takes a bit of time to come back again, because it's not glued to your foot. So if you drop down somewhere or you jump up somewhere, you can't take it with you. That's again, it's a minor point, but again, it might affect the way you play. I don't know. Difficulty wise, it's not too bad. It's quite a nice learning curve. I think I don't know, age group, the graphics are going to appeal to the younger player, but the difficulty is going to appeal to the older generation, and this might get a bit frustrating for younger players, but it's worth trying it. So I would say probably give it a go around, I don't know, 10 plus. Let's just go with 10 plus. I think that'd be quite a good age. It reminds me a little bit of Zool, but that was Gremlin, not Chrysalis. So there we are. That guy's throwing spanners at me. I mean, what kind of grown man in a green hat throws spanners at a child with a football? But one of the main mysteries of life. It's a one-player game, sadly, but I really couldn't see how else this would go in a two-player environment. I don't think it would work in co-op, and turn-based, not so sure. Obviously, you can do the old adage of where you can just play past the controller. If you lose a life, pass it to your mate, but that's about all you can really do with it. It's a side-scrolling platformer with an element of beat-em-up, you know, using the ball rather than your fists and your feet, and that kind of works. But yeah, it's a nicely put together game, and I will be looking at this on the other systems as and when I can. But I think this is one of those games. It's what you might call a Marmite game. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I kind of like this. Bloody rat again. But there, that's it. Soccer Kid for the Amiga, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the review today. I know I keep saying it, but I will be back regularly again very soon. In the meantime, you keep it retro, and I'll catch you in the next review. Have a nice couple of days. Bye for now!